Hi everyone. I know it's way been overdue for a follow-up video to the last video that I posted about menstruation and heavy bleeding. So that's exactly what I'm giving you guys today is basically a follow-up, and this goes along with what I've been reading as far as the comments and the conversations I've had with women, like post, me posting the original video about how to cure, or not cure, but how to, address some of the issues with the heavy bleeding, just based on my journey and my experience, which, every woman is different and we all have, different bodies, and we all have different body chemistries and everything. Every situation is different, age and hormones and all that stuff to be considered. The most important thing that I wanted to address in this video, in case I didn't make it more clear in the last video, is it's super important that that you guys, regardless of anything else, that if you're having heavy bleeding, it's lasting longer than 2 weeks, or a month, or 2 months, or 3 months, like I mentioned in the last video, please, please, please go to your doctor. Now, in my story, in my journey with this, is that I had gone to my gynecologist. I had gone to specialists. My very first time having a super heavy period like this actually happened to me when I was 19 or 20. I had actually gained weight. I was in college and I gained a bunch of weight. I gained maybe about 30 to 40 pounds in the span of like a year. And so that kind of threw my cycle off tremendously. And I just remember having one period that lasted like 2 months. I didn't have I don't know like what my situation was with my insurance. So the first time I went to the doctor, I went to Planned Parenthood, and they gave me this crazy story that like if you don't have your period for a long time, then your body will like all of a sudden just like make up for lost time, and you'll have like 3 or 4 periods at once. I'm like, okay, I've never heard that in the history of anything I've ever read. That this woman was like an Indian doctor, and and then she of course talked about my weight, which is always a factor just because of how estrogen plays a role in everything, and hormone and insulin, all the hormones play a role in the menstruation. So, but just hearing that, I'm like, okay. But that was my first, time with the doctor. Of course, what she did was put me on the birth control the first time. That was in college. And now, of course, I had a conversation with my mother. I'm like, Mom, this doctor trying to put me on birth control. I've never taken it before. And my mom was like, well, I've taken birth control all these years. I've taken it for 20 odd years. I liked being on it. I'm like, oh, okay. Thanks, Mom. Great. So I had gone that route to start taking birth control for the first time. And I actually stopped taking birth control then when I was 20, because in my early 20s, because it really made me depressed. Like I noticed I was having weird mood swings. I wasn't myself anymore. It like definitely affected my mood. Like I was always super happy and excited, and I started taking this stuff. I'm like, wow, I'm not even the same person anymore. So I had to stop taking those pills, birth control, whatever. And it seemed like things were kind of going irregular, but normal irregular, which was basically me not having periods, skipping periods, getting them once every 2 months, or like them being irregular or whatever. And then more recently with this last experience, I mean, it's happened like maybe twice before with them lasting longer than a month. But because I have super awesome insurance now, I can see specialists and doctors and do all the stuff I need to do. So, so this time when I posted the last video, I had actually seen specialists. They did everything. They ran hormone testing. They did imaging. They did the whole shebang. Like they looked at everything. And what did they discover after running all these tests? What did they tell me? That I was normal. So, of course, obviously you're losing all this blood. Don't have a lot of, of course, the blood work showed that I was iron deficient. Like, that's pretty much, they said I was iron deficient. So, besides that, hormone levels were perfect. They said, I'm dropping eggs like normal. They said that, what else? My cycle's normal, no cysts, no fibroids, no nothing. Just, the iron thing. But even then, even with them doing that, my gynecologist did not, even though he ran the blood work, did not give me iron pills. It was my primary care doctor that recommended that, not the gynecologist. So please be wary. My gynecologist gave me the birth control, and he told me to do the 4 birth control pills to make my body think I was on my period, so that the bleeding would stop, which was ineffective. All it did was made the blood come out really, really bright, which I don't know what that was all about. Made me feel really nauseous, like I felt like I had morning sickness every day. And then the bleeding was still continued. It wasn't until I started taking iron pills that it just stopped. And then I didn't have to deal with any of that. So I just wanted to make that clear, because I think what I'm seeing now is that girls and women are posting that they just went in, oh, let me go run and get the iron pills. Like, and for the majority, it's being effective. I don't think it's been effective for some women. I don't think that taking the iron pills is going to hurt anyone. I think that you should always talk to a doctor, but a lot of the stuff that you're getting the iron pills is over the counter. You know, anyone can buy them. There's no regulation on it. If you follow the prescription. Now, again, I tell you what I do, which is I double up on them when I'm on my periods. That's what I do because of my situation with the iron deficiency. So, again, all I'm going to say, from here on out, please go to your doctor, because I would hate for anyone to get sick. I would hate for anyone to say, well, you told me to do this, and, you know, now they had something crazy happen to me, and, you know, I'm all about wellness and people feeling good and getting better and being happy. So I would hate for anyone to take this and then not have it work out for them or have it be wrong. So, you know, definitely see a doctor first if you can. Again, Planned Parenthood can run, you know, different tests if you have insurance. I think that's affordable. Like, that they're cheap. Different options are, you know, affordable for women. So definitely see a doctor. And then if they tell you, like me, nothing's wrong, but you're still having super heavy periods, then okay, you might want to consider iron pills. Just saying.